Yeah, it was amazing. It was probably one of the best gigs we've done actually. It was because the thing was we often do like a thing at the Astoria around Christmas time. The year before I think we had like all Santas come out, didn't we? And
Yeah.
yeah, we made like a big affair of it.
It wasn't real though, kids. It was our crew.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't the real Santa because there was like 3 of them as well.
I think
But-
it's nice just near Christmas time, end of the year, had a good year, and then London being kind of our home gig because we're Essex boys and that's the closest one. And yeah, it's just a real nice way to end the year.
I don't know actually. I think for me, like So You Know, I absolutely love playing So You Know because it was one of the most recent singles, and to know that it had gone down really well was, you know, that was pretty vibing. So
I bet Faster the Chase has always quite got a celebratory kind of mood to it when we play with the crowd because they're so vocal with it. It gives them a chance to show off how loud they can sing.
do you want to go faster?
Yeah,
I think my problem is any time I got to hit my gong,
yeah. He played a gong for the one show.
it was Keith Moon's gong.
He hit it twice.
You don't know how many times you said that.
So
You don't know how many times you
we
said
took
that.
that out of his pocket money.
Yeah.
No more gongs. I do appreciate the wacky, quirky genres we get put in.
The grunge boy
Prog.
band thing's good. I
Grunge
didn't think
Grease.
it was possible to be a grunge boy band, but
Westlife,
I'm glad we achieved
Westlife
it.
with a bit of grease.
Yeah, exactly.
But we had our dance moves way before we ever got signed up, so
Yeah.
we haven't sold out or anything in that respect.
I quite like the prog rock boy. The prog rock.
Yeah,
Thing.
although most of our songs clock in under 4 minutes, which immediately puts us out of the prog genre.
Yeah. God, some people just don't know their prog rock, do they?
But yeah, we met when we in the first day of junior school. It sounds very made up, but we did.
Yeah.
Mrs. Bulldog's class.
Yeah, I think we were both sitting outside, you know, like your first day of school, got your uniform on and everything, looking proper smart. Your mum walks you in,
Trousers
and
too big.
yeah, trousers too big because you'll grow into them, obviously. And yeah, I just sat down on a bench, and I think Dave walked over and just went, "Are you really scared?" or something like that. And I was like, "Yeah." And we just got chatting, and that was it.
We
Thick and
agreed to
thin.
be each other's friends.
Yeah, thick and
Be
thin,
my
all that kind of
friend.
stuff. I kind of regret it now, but I
Yes.
mean, you know, you got to live with these decisions, haven't you?
Dave, you noticed Joe straight away? Yeah.
Well,
It was his chiselled features just stood out from the rest of the chubby kids.
exactly.
And yeah, and another mate.
You did sit quite close to me on the bench, actually. Worrying.
I wasn't sure of my sexuality. I was only 4. We went to different senior schools, and but I was a bit of a loner at my school, and still knew Joe and my other mates we knew from the previous school, and I think we got into a bit of Bon Jovi, a bit of Guns N' Roses, and then we got introduced to Nirvana. This was actually after Nirvana's demise, but we loved it. I guess the simplicity of it as well. Being 13, we weren't in any way good at our instruments, and it allowed us to
Copy.
get creative without
covers.
putting in the effort to get grade 8 guitar or anything like that.
Well, Oasis sort of kicked those ass in my
I think Oasis have obviously come up with a lot better classics, so to speak, a lot more long living, but at the time I liked the quirkiness of Blur in the country, and I think we even covered Song 2 at like our first gig, I think.
Yeah.
So I think at the time we were blurry.
Yeah, I think at the time we were Blur. But I think now, looking back on it, I think both have done well in their own little way, really, because Damon Albarn's still got the Gorillaz going on, and I think he's more kind of pushing boundaries, whereas Oasis is just coming out with tune after tune,
Oasis
you know.
are just having it
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
which is all cool.
That was pretty good, actually. Recently we was in Japan, and we were lucky enough to be on stage, and they were playing this big stadium to about 80,000 people, and they were like something like an hour late going on stage, and we're standing there next to the stage. And because it's Japan, like in England, if you was an hour late getting on stage at a festival, you'd be dead. There'd be a riot in like within 5 minutes, you know. But the Japanese crowd was so quiet, weren't they? They were, Yeah, yeah. But that was amazing watching them like play, you know, all those classics to like 80,000 Japanese people going absolutely nuts.
I think I got two simultaneously, if I'm being honest. One was Cliff Richard's Mistletoe and Wine,
Classic.
which I was well into. And the other one was The Hollies, He Ain't Heavy As My Brother. I remember the boxer picture on the front. And that's still I play that today just on my own and stuff. And yeah, not a bad start really, apart from the Mistletoe and Wine bit.
Mine was terrible. I think the first single I ever bought was a WWF single they released called Wham Jam, or whatever it's called. Something like that.
I still think we take influence from that today, though.
Yes. Mistletoe and Wine.
Why?
I can't.
Your influences also go back to the 70s as well, don't they? The
That's
Police
probably where they stem from,
and
yeah.
Led Zepp.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's where we like draw a lot from, or we'd like to think we draw a lot from. One of the two. I mean, Size just goes on about Led Zeppelin all the time. Can't stop him. Shut him up about them.
Definitely that one.
We had one guy play with us once, and it sounded cool, but it just kind of lost a lot of the edge for us. So I just think we kind of just got into the thing of being a three-piece.
I think before we even formed, we believed that we would be as big as you two.
You got to have the belief.
Yeah.
You already were in their heads.
I think the turning point was we took part in a few Battle of the Bands, and we never ever thought we could win. I think it was like my dad like entered us because he'd heard us a couple of times, and he just entered us without us knowing. And we were like, oh, okay. And we started playing, and we were getting through the heats and getting through, you know, the quarterfinals leading up, and we got all the way through to the final. And by the end of it, we actually started to believe, hang on a minute, we could be onto something here. Especially like with someone reading out like the results at the end and telling you how good you are. Like we kind of, we were like, oh really, oh right, okay. So we
Just confirming our suspicions, really.
yeah. No, I think we just I think we just kind of started to think, oh well, maybe we should go and play in London a little bit more. I think that was what kind of, you know, kind of set us about doing that. And we just started hitting up London and playing a lot of gigs in London to no one, as loads of bands do. And
That's the Drowned, yeah.
yeah, this was under the name Drowned. And
Still day jobs or school?
yeah, it was
College.
it was at school doing
A-levels.
Oh, right.
yeah, it was mad. It was schools, jobs, and fitting the band in. So you'd like on a normal day you'd be at school, then go to work, and then quickly jump in a van and go off to like your nighttime gig, and you'd be doing that like pretty much every day, you know. So it was busy, but it was good. The woman who signed us up from MFM first, she'd come to see the band after us because I think like they were also a young band from around our area. I think their mum had like pressured her into coming basically, and she arrived like a couple of minutes before our set was meant to finish or whatnot, and she was expecting this band to be setting up going on, but because we'd broken a cymbal, we were running late, and she managed to catch like the last end of our set. And I think at this point, me and Dave were like jumping about like absolute maniacs off the stage in the crowd, and I think she just thought it was either pretty cool or pretty stupid, one of the two.
These days it's like, say what you think, who cares, but I was a bit paranoid at the time about what to say and things, so I probably come off as really quiet and arrogant, and yeah, it's a good image.
A lot of bands get taught how to do interviews as well, which we've now learned. Like if a lot of bands that get signed up, they're like, oh right, this is how you do an interview, and they're taught how to do interviews. And I think they tried to do it with us, but I think we just went, yeah, whatever, just like shut up, just bring them in, we'll just
Start
talk.
rolling.
Yeah, just start rolling. We didn't really have much time for stylists or anything like that, or learning how to do things.
It's all very thrown around. Obviously, everyone brings their own thing to it. Obviously, being the vocalist, maybe I'll sing a lot more than the guys and come up with a few more melodies, but everyone's got to be happy with the finished product, which means everyone dibs in. Very, very, very cool. That was still before the first album was out, I think, and it's all just great buzz for us to hear people singing our lyrics and going nuts, screaming and shaking.
To know that everyone's there for you is like, I don't think I could ever describe that feeling to anyone. Just to know that Like, we always said that it's a big thing for people to take out the time out of their night, you know, rather than, I don't know, going to the cinema or, you know, sitting in front of the TV or going and playing tennis, I don't know, whatever. You know, they choose to spend their time travelling down, paying their money and coming seeing you. And to have, you know, 500 people, 1,000 people, 2,000 people come and do that all together, all in one big room, I just think it's an incredible thing, really, especially at such a young age. We were just like, right, okay.
It was cool. I'm glad we didn't go to university. Yeah, I love it. I think it's a gem because it just reminds us of all these different things. And although it's not the album we'd make now, but that's what's special about it, is it contains a bit of our history.
And your vocal style, Dave, where did you sort of, did that come to you as just being part of the image, or did you hear somebody that you particularly liked?
I think it just kind of developed out of loads of different inspirations, and then with the first album, now I wouldn't sing it like that, but at the time it had that really gravelly, throaty kind of aggressive sound, and I think with White Butterfly changed a little bit and a bit smoother in places, a lot of different influences, and I think that's always changing and developing, whether for good or bad, as we come up with more and more work. Mark Hollis from Talk Talk, no one sounds like him, and he's got the most, he can just say, like, he could breathe and you could probably pick out loads of little inflections from it, and it's doing a lot more with your voice than people might hear, and I like to get inspired by that, rather than just bolting it out, doing your voice in, just kind of trying to do a bit more with it, and a lot more expression.
The record company basically said, like, these are the options, and laid out different options in front of us. And as soon as they said Los Angeles with Josh Abraham, I think we all looked at each other and just, it was decision made. We didn't even need to say anything. It was like 3 months in LA, can't ask much better than that. And I think at the time we was going through, like, both individually and as a band, we was going, like, through some stress, and we just wanted to, mainly because of the press and stuff, you know, the whole issue of, well, your first album's been, you know, done really well, what are you going to do now, type thing. So we wanted to just get out of the country, go somewhere and just have a great time recording and really enjoy it. And that's what we did. And I think to this day it's one of the best decisions we've ever made. It was one of the best experiences probably of my life, so it was brilliant.
Very lucky choice.
Yeah.
That was you, yeah.
Yeah, well, we had a couple, and as soon as we heard his name, we hadn't met the guy, which was very lucky, because we went out there, and on the first day he was like most chilled out, lovely guy in the world, knew exactly what we wanted to achieve and just helped us do it. The first thing he said was, I may have a bit of a name for myself, but I'm not in any way one of those dictator producers who's going to tell you, oh, I've got my 20 years experience over you. He wasn't like that at all. It was just like, you guys are great, you've got the songs, let's do it. And it was the most relaxing recording process I think we've ever been part of. We really had a good old time.
Yeah, we did.
A lot nicer weather, and it was nice to just get away from everything, not in a bad way, but to just be the three of us away from everyone in the record company and friends and family, not, like I say, not in a bad way, but just to escape and focus on the album. And apart from that, just
sit on the beach.
Yeah, sit on the beach, go down all these places that you've heard about and from the movies and all the stars go to, and kind of live it up for a while.
Yeah, it was good just to be us again as well, because one of the things about the first record is when it started taking off, whether we were touring or whether we were, you know, doing press or anything, there was always people around us all the time.
Someone's always got something to say.
Yeah, and so we didn't, like, as soon as it started, we didn't get an opportunity to just hang out as the three of us unless we were writing. So one of the great things about LA was that we actually kind of just got to chill out with us three, and it was just our three ideas, you know, rather than being surrounded by loads of people telling you what you should be doing and us having to say fuck off every, like, you know, sentence. So yeah, it was just a great thing to do, really.
It was a holiday as well for us, like, although we should, yeah, it sounds like we didn't actually do much, but we were working, everything was getting, he'd done his drums in 3 days, and then it was down to me to just layer and layer and layer, and Joe done his bit in about 2 days. So it was all very, very professionally done, and we had a lot of time to just hang out, not bunk off, so to speak, but
When you say
And
chill,
think about the product.
yeah, take it out, listen to it full blast in the car, cruising down
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset, yeah, and it was a bit larger than life for us, really. What they do is you'll be working, being creative. You won't have to wait while someone's messing around, editing things, because they've got a guy next door doing all that, and then they come back and go, what do you reckon on that? And you're like, yeah. And yeah, they've just got a very good process out there, which I think no matter what type of band, whatever way they want to record, they'll go into Josh's little team set up, and they'll have an environment that suits them no matter what, and they've got all the little gadgets and toys, and you can do anything you want out there.
It was just amazing. Like, there was a few times where we wanted a particular sound, like we'd name records. We'd kind of be like, oh right, we really love this sound from this particular album, and like instead of England, they'd be like, right, okay, so play me the record. Josh would just get on the phone and he'd ring up the producer who produced the album.
Mate.
And just go, all right, mate, how's it going? Yeah, we was wondering how you got that sound.
Can you
like
email me that drum sample?
Yeah, can you email me that drum sample? And so we were just like, right, okay. Whereas like when we was recording in England, someone would go, right, and we'd spend ages trying to find the sound that was kind of similar, but not really the same.
He'd just get his big old producer mates to send them over.
Yeah, he'd just ring them up, and it was just. There was one time where I really liked a Filter song called "Take a Picture," and there was like a bit on it that I wanted to kind of authenticate, as it were, and copy a little bit, and in our own way, obviously, not rip it off. But he just
Disclaimer.
he just rung disclaimer. He just rung up the lead singer. Like, he was like, oh really? Literally got his mobile phone out while I literally just said it, and he just picked up his phone, just went, yeah, hi. And I started speaking to him and found out how he did it. And it was
they'd just done Velvet Revolver's album before us, so Slash had dropped his own personal plectrums everywhere with his little signature, and a guitar he used on the Velvet Revolver album to do some killer solos. He's like, he used that, and I went, right,
I'll use that.
solo overdubs please, and we just kind of got that kind of Slash sound for some leady bits, and he used the snare that Dave Grohl used on Nevermind, and lots of little stories like that
yeah, it was
kind
like
of made us a bit wide-eyed.
yeah,
America really impressed you.
yeah, you could say that just a little.
In the music sense, yeah,
Yeah.
and the weather sense. Yeah, good old sweaty intimate shows, and yeah, if you mess up, they're gonna see it, and that makes it all the more special and things like that.
Yeah, it was good to do like kind of exclusive shows, get the fans in, the ones that have been really loyal, the ones that literally heard the first single and were buying it straight from the beginning, because it's so different playing the small shows to the big shows. The big shows are absolutely amazing and they're great, but sometimes you're so far away from them that you don't feel entirely, kind of like you're connecting. Whereas the Barflies, you can't help but connecting. I think I connected with one girl's face with my bass at some point. So
She has forgiven you since, I think.
yeah, I think she has.
Another thing on the cover of White Butterfly, you very graciously say thanks, and you list quite a few bands there, 100 Reasons. 3 that I particularly sort of picked out, just in what way they've inspired you and what you're grateful to them for. The Darkness, Limp Bizkit and Iron Maiden. Would you?
I think that band list really was just to make it look like we got loads of friends in the industry. A lot of them bands we played one gig with, which we're really thankful for, but we obviously didn't get a chance to develop a relationship with the bands. We played a couple gigs with Limp Bizkit, and that was a great opportunity for us, avoiding bottles and things like that. We played, who else did you say? Iron Maiden. Well, obviously me, big Maiden fan, and we've met Brucey, and Brucey turned up our first single, and was
Brucey's a
headbanging.
legend.
And that to us, I mean, we try not to get starstruck, but it was hard for
It's
me not
impossible,
to just
yeah.
sit there and shake and look like an idiot. And we shared a stage with them when we played Download. We played the main stage, so it was kind of like we're playing on Maiden's stage. So it's more a salute. Right. Who else did you say?
Darkness.
The Darkness, yeah, we did a couple of shows before they went absolutely massive.
We did the Jackass party before they got massive, and
And
we were like the Who.
I think I remember
before
when
they
we played the Reading Festival. We did the main stage of that as well, and Darkness were on later. And I come on stage and said, "Oh, hope everyone's up for the Darkness," because I was really digging that album. Like as soon as it came out, I got it, and then Dan, Justin's brother, come up to me after the gig and just was like, "Oh, it was a really nice thing you did there, mate." And I just thought they're just quite genuine, nice guys, and good on them.
Final question: is it true? I've read somewhere. Is it true that as a band, girls have frequently asked you to autograph dildos?
Yeah.
This has been done, yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope they've used them later, and
Yeah. We hope many
So from that,
satisfactory
felt a
nights.
little bit of us in them.
Yeah, that is pretty strange actually. We always say that we're standing backstage, like at the Astoria. I think probably said it to you. Sometimes we're standing there backstage and you've got like 2,000 13-year-olds screaming "InMe," and it starts to dawn on you maybe that's a little bit wrong, you know, in so many ways. But
Give me
yeah.
a few years, you can queue up one by one. I'll get through if I can.
Yeah, it's not a bad situation to be in.
No.
Never complain about that.
Thanks for your time.
No, cheers, thank you.
Cool.
All set?
Mickey, have a little less, teeniest little less clean. We'll do chamber.
some of the cut through. Look, you know, I made a little bit of cut through. Take it off.
Try, you'll get there, or just run the adjustability intro. You just run the adjustability intro, Dave. Just check that out.